Hello everyone, I thought today I'd teach about the UK, since I know a lot about this country, kind of. So, first let's start with what the UK is. It is the British Isles and Northern Ireland, along with some other, countries around it. It's the leader of what was the Allies in World War I and World War II, and it's a pretty, I'd say, big-ish country off the coast of Normandy, and the only country they border by land is Ireland, and maritime borders France, and Norway, I think. I know they maritime border France, but I'm not sure about Norway. Anyways, I just wanted to say how this is like the UK and just maybe do a little bit of teaching. Now, first, I want to explain this is the UK. The UK, the United Kingdom. It's not England, it's not the British, and you're probably like, well, what's the difference? What's the difference between the UK, Great Britain, and England? Well, first, let me explain the difference between Great Britain and the UK. The UK is just this. This is the UK. This island and some other islands they own. Great Britain is the whole entire British Empire. Well, okay, but what's the difference between England and the UK? Let me show you the difference. Ba ba ba. And I think here, ba ba da. Yeah, that's roughly the borders. This down here, you see this? I'll give it a little bit of a red marking so you can tell. That is England, or if I may, that is England. This is Scotland, and this is Wales. So, and this is Northern Ireland. These are the 4 kingdoms that I think it's only 4 that make up the UK. We got England in the red. It's definitely the biggest kingdom. Then Scotland in the blue, Wales in the green, and Northern Ireland in the yellow. Now, these are the kingdoms that make up Great Britain, as I just explained. That's the difference between England and the UK. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this country. So, here's the basic geography that I know, and then I'll add in a little bit. So, up here is highlands, it's mostly mountains, with some of these island things. I forgot what they're called. I'll search it up soon, but they're called something. Down here we have Wales. It's also a pretty high area. There's more sheep than people in it, if you didn't know that. At least I think I've heard. I'm not sure. I'll check. I'll fact check myself in a second. Then we have England, which I feel like is more of a flat plains area until you get around Wales and a little bit farther up north. I feel like there's more mountainous areas up there. Nowhere near as tall as like the Alps and stuff. It's more like foothills, but still. And then down here is its capital, right? I think about here. Like here, that's London. Or maybe it's a little bit up north. I don't know. It's one of those 2 places. It's really hard to get exact on a map, but you know. Then this is Northern Ireland, which there's tons of people fighting about if it's part of Ireland or the UK, but most maps consider it as part of the UK. Now, I'm going to give the more geography facts after actually looking this stuff up. Okay, let's cover Wales first. So down here in the southern area, there's tons of vast valleys, pretty wide valleys and low areas. And up here in mid and northern Wales, there's more hill range. Next, Scotland. So Scotland was kind of hard. I read through it, and apparently the geography. So up here, it's mountainous, but around the rest, they either have pretty big cities and rural plains. And out in these islands over here, and probably definitely up here, and really up here, there's very sparsely populated areas. So yeah, that's interesting. So I read through it and I didn't really completely understand it, but there's like a lake here, and around it is like highlands. So that's North Ireland. Now we're finally doing England. So over here, apparently it's mostly flat. In England, it's mostly flat, except for in the east where it says it's a little bit more high up. Anyways, that is the fact about England. Now I'm gonna give most the like main cities, like where they are. Okay, I wanted to say, so these are the like main cities. We have London here, and Birmingham here, and Belfast here, Glasgow here, Edinburgh here, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but Cardiff here. I'm not completely sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Anyways, those are the main cities, and now I kind of want to talk about their political situation. Not inside the country, but referring to around the country. So, they are in NATO, a military alliance that Finland, if you didn't know, recently joined. And the leadership, I would say, is kind of the US. They're the main leader of the alliance, since they are a founding member. They also share close ties with Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, from what I've learned. And yeah, they were once in the EU, but Brexit was it was done like in 2018, where UK is like, bye, I'm gonna ruin my economy, and then yeah, they got a bunch of prime ministers, and their newest prime minister came in, ruined the economy, and refused to elaborate and left. And then they got a new one, and then they resigned, I think. And then they got a new one, and I don't know about what happened after that. Anyways, that's my video on the UK. Probably could have done better, but it's what it is.